Number 10. Magi, the Labyrinth of Magic. Magi is based around this young boy called Aladdin, he's a special thing, but I can't currently remember the name. Anyway, he controls these soul birds that people turn into after they die. And then it gives him magical powers. And he also has a friend called Ugo who comes out with his flute. And there's also other people that can capture dungeons, which are magical buildings that are said to be very hard to capture, and they can get metal vessels that give them special powers like fire or water or electricity. And the reason I like this film is it has a really good story to it that has lots of surprises that you didn't see coming. And all the characters I was very fond of. I mean, even the ones that weren't really in it for much, but I still like them all. The reason it's not so high on this list is because it's a bit repetitive. It's always Aladdin in the end coming to save the day and saving everyone, but it's still very enjoyable. So yeah, that's why it's number 10 on this list. Number 9. Black Butler Season 2. Black Butler Season 2 is about the rivalry between Ciel Phantomhive and Aloise Chauncey, both of which who have made deals with demons, Aloise having Claude and Ciel having Sebastian. In the end, Claude ends up wanting to consume Ciel's soul, which makes Aloise very jealous, and he ends up plotting revenge and how he can ruin Ciel's life, basically. I enjoyed this because it tells a really deep story and you learn a lot about the emotional pasts of the characters. And you learn what it would be like to have lots of losses and if you would actually think about making a deal with a demon. The reason it's not higher on this list is the ending is absolutely atrocious. I mean, it's ruins the whole anime. It's just the manga didn't do that, so why do you ruin the anime by giving it such a poor ending? But overall, it was really good and I really enjoyed it. Preferred it to season 1, actually. That's why it's number 9 on this list. Number 8. High School of the Dead. High School of the Dead is about teenagers trying to survive a zombie apocalypse. Yeah, I know it sounds cheesy, but it's actually really good. And I like the way the story goes and how they end up in loads of different places and what happens while they're there. I also enjoyed the ridiculously over cheesy action scenes that no able human could pull off, but it's anime, so what the hell, they did it anyway. The reason it's not so high on this list is for the amount of fan service. I mean, it's you don't need a panty shot every 5 seconds. I mean, I'm slightly hypocritical because the queen of the fan service is my favourite character. I mean, I don't mean Ray or the pink one, I mean Psycho. I mean, they're just annoying and I hate them. I only really liked 3 characters in this, but the rest are just yeah, that's the reason why it's only 8 on this list. Number 7. Soul Eater. Soul Eater is based around an academy for deaf weapons and Meister, which basically means people that can turn into weapons and then the people that wield them. And the show follows basically Soul and Maka, Black Star and Tsubaki, Death the Kid and his 2 guns, Patty and Liz. I enjoyed the story very well because at first it's okay, it's a bit repetitive, are you just going to do the same thing for the whole series? And then it's BAM! Big massive plot twist to a completely different story. Yeah, they did that and I enjoyed that. It was a really good story and I really enjoyed the characters. There was only a few characters that I didn't like. Maka, basically. And I could deal with her, basically. I liked the villains, actually. Quite a lot of them were really cool. The reason it's not higher on this list is because I hated the ending. I really did. And that's why it's number 7 on my list. Number 6. Codebreaker. Codebreaker is about 5 different people, each with unique powers that are a trained assassins, so they kill people that the government want dead. And it's basically based around this girl that meets one of them and is no, you can't kill people, so she's basically following him around saying, no, you can't kill. But there's a lot more story than that, and it's really quite emotional in some points. The reason I love this film is it has really likable characters. It's like there's only one or two that I don't like. And it has a really good story, like really different points are strong. Like most of it's strong, actually. I can't really find many faults in this, so the reason it's not as high is just because generally as me, I prefer the ones above it. That's all really. I mean, as a fantasy anime enthusiast, I can't really find that many faults with it, even if it did make me cry. Number 5. Deadman's Wonderland. Deadman's Wonderland is based around a kid called Gunter, who is accused of killing all of his school friends, and then is sent to this specialised prison with these people that are able to control their blood, which is named Branch of Sin. The reason I enjoyed this anime so much is because it is really good. The story is really good, the characters are really good, the action scenes are really good. I loved it, but if anything, it could have been longer because they tried to tell a pretty big story in the thing, so they missed quite a few details. But other than that, it is really, really good. I mean, like, what other animes do you see where people are just fighting with their blood? It's ridiculous. And it's amazing. I mean, it even really got emotional at some points. Number 4. Blue Exorcist. Blue Exorcist is based around a group of school kids that are training to be exorcists, 2 of which are the sons of Satan, but only one of them gets his powers. And it's basically showing you how difficult life is with being the son of Satan. And it's about lots of demons trying to attack them and stuff like that. The reason I enjoyed this so much is because it's a really happy feel to it, and it has lots of major action points that like keep you gripped to the TV screen. Not that I watched it on TV, but still, if it was on TV, I'd be gripped to it. And the characters are so lovable. There's like fun characters, more serious characters that are still cool. And they mesh together so well to make a happy-go-lucky, serious, still action thing called Blue Exorcist. And that's why it's number 4 on this list. Number 3, Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail is about wizards and guilds, that's all I'm saying, because it's like 170 odd episodes, so I can't give you a really detailed description. But anyway, I love this so much because it's my gateway anime and it's been with me for ages and it got me into anime, so it's like I love it so much. And I love like tons of bazillions of characters in this and like quite a lot of the plot stories, and then it's like new characters and everything and fantasy and mages and magic and fire and I just enjoy it. I go all fangirl over anyone mentioning Fairy Tail. It's like, oh, did you see Fairy Tail? Fairy Tail? Ah, how I love the Fairy Tail. Yes. And that awful description is why it's number 3 on my list. Number 2! This is a joint one between Death Note and Steins Gate. The reason I love both of these animes so much is because the writers have obviously put a lot of thinking into it. Because there's a lot of plot points where it's like, oh, well, I didn't really think about that because, well, I'm too stupid to think about that. But they've really thought in depth about what's going to happen and everything. And both leave you with massive questions like, would I do this? Would I do that? I just don't know. And I liked basically all the characters. Yes, even Light, who's evil and wants to kill everyone. I still like them all, and that's why it's number 2 on this list, but afraid it didn't make it to number 1. But what did? What is higher than a thinky anime and a thinkier anime? Yeah. And that's why they're both number 2 on my list. And my number 1 anime is D. Grey Man. This is another show based around the lives of exorcists, but this time they are fully fledged exorcists. And the reason I love this anime so much is because for 103 episodes, it's consistent in its amount of goodness. It doesn't stop being good. It's not like, no, this wasn't as good as this. Well, it's consistently good. I mean, the start like 8 episodes in was a bit slow to me. But once you get past that, it's mind-blowingly amazing. I mean, I cannot find a fault within it. I mean, probably other people will be like, I found like 100 faults. But to me, it's just, I loved it. I can't find any fault with it. And I loved basically all the characters. Actually, I loved all the characters. There wasn't a character where it's like, I don't like you. Even the characters that are like really do your head in or are obnoxiously evil, like Tiki and Road. But I still love them because they're really enjoyable characters. I mean, that sounds bad for me, but they're still really enjoyable. Anyway, that is why it is my penultimate anime and why I love it so much. Thank you for watching my top 10. Hope you enjoyed.